and welcome to Treasury Notes, a show dedicated to the latest news and information from the office of West Virginia State Treasurer John Perdue. I'm your host, Gina Long. Making good choices about saving, giving, spending, and investing. That's what Money Smart Week West Virginia is all about. This April, an entire week is dedicated to helping consumers and professionals better manage their money and develop good financial habits. For the second year, the Treasurer's Office has joined up with AARP and several other local, state, and national agencies to present Money Smart Week West Virginia. Coming up this half hour, we'll talk with one of the organizers of the event, Janet Clark with AARP. She'll let us know what we can expect new this spring and how people can take advantage of these opportunities. But first, we want to tell you about some of the other news that is making headlines here in the State Treasurer's Office. State Treasurer John Perdue's Smart 529 College Savings Program recently reached a milestone, with the program hitting the $1.5 billion mark in net assets. The Smart 529 program boasts more than 100,000 accounts. People can start a Smart 529 plan for as little as $50, and there are tax incentives for West Virginia residents. To find out more about the Smart 529 program, log on to our website at www.wvtreasury.com. Well, investing in college savings is one of the ways you can better manage your money and save for the future, but being financially savvy takes a lot of initiative to learn better practices and to stay clear of fraud. Money Smart Week West Virginia is designed to give people the opportunity to learn those strategies. And joining me now to talk more about the Money Smart Week event in April is Janet Clark with AARP West Virginia. Janet, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, thank you, Gina. Thank you for having me.
Before we get started into talking about Money Smart Week, I want to talk a little bit about AARP and what the organization does as a whole. You're an organization for people over the age of 50, and you do a lot of initiatives statewide.
We do. There are two programs, though, two organizations within AARP. There's an AARP Foundation, who I work for, and then there's also a state AARP. The foundation is truly the affiliated charity of AARP. We truly are the 501c3 organization. And AARP Foundation is one of the leading national charities focused on helping low-income seniors meet their basic needs, such as food, housing, income, and personal connections, isolation, if you will. AARP Foundation, we're all about relationships, and we're providing security, empowerment for people over the age of 50.
What are some of the goals that the organization AARP, the foundation, has for the community? I know you really do a lot of outreach programs.
We do, and when I started in 2006, we had 2 programs, and now we have 8. We have 8 programs, and again, we're taking care of we're empowering seniors over the age of 50. Some of the programs, the first program I started was West Virginia Elder Watch, which was a partnership with the Attorney General's Office of Consumer Protection, where people can file consumer complaints against a certain business and have the mediation and have resolution quickly. We have a Senior Medicare Patrol Project, which helps people read their EOB, their explanation of benefits, to make sure that they're actually getting charged for the tests that their doctor actually gave them or ordered for them. We have a money management program that helps seniors manage their money better so that they can remain independent and keep that independence. We have a work search program which helps people re-enter the workforce with education, resume writing, getting the person over the age of 50 used to using the computer. So we do a lot of really outreach initiatives here in the state. Not every state has a foundation. The other state is Colorado, and we're very unique here in West Virginia because our office is in DC, the foundation's office is in DC, and they give us the program to start it, to tweak it, if you will, put it in a toolbox, see if it works,
right,
what works, and give it back to maybe implement in another state across the United States. So we're really unique here in West Virginia.
And really it's all about the learning experience, because we all know that once you graduate high school, college, or grad school, learning doesn't stop, and I guess AARP really helps provide a lot of those learning opportunities.
We do, and all the programs that I mentioned, like I said, we had 8, they're all volunteer driven. We couldn't be so successful if it wasn't for our volunteers. And these volunteers are professionals, they're retired school employees, we have a couple retired judges, carbide executives, empty nesters. They just want to give something back to the community. And we're always saying thank you to them because they provide such a powerful service for us and for the consumers of West Virginia. And then I had one volunteer said, no, Janet, thank you for providing this opportunity for me, because if I didn't have this AARP Foundation and volunteer opportunities, I would be sitting at home, not learning, like you said. It keeps them stimulated, keeps them young, keeps them social, keeps them active. And again, we're constantly learning and educating.
Well, speaking about learning, AARP really spearheaded the project to bring Money Smart Week here to West Virginia. I know several other states do hold this week every year, and now we're doing it. We just brought it here. Last October was the first one. We're getting ready to kick off the second event here in April. Why did AARP think this was such a good idea to bring it to our state?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I actually went to this conference in Madison, Wisconsin, and I went with another colleague, another partner of ours on the Money Smart team, and this gentleman was the last speaker of a 3-day conference. And you know, he was so dynamic, and it was the last day of the conference, the last speakers. We've all been there that we think, oh, let's get out of here and go home. And this guy was just so wonderful and had so much to offer the consumers. And again, this was in Madison, Wisconsin. I took it back to my boss, Scott Atkins, and I said, this is what we need to do for the state of West Virginia. This is what we need to do. So I brought back a lot of things that he had shared with us, and we started it, planning for it. As you know, you're one of our partners. Last March, we held it in October, and they asked us to get on board nationally with everyone else who's doing the Money Smart Week in April. So even though we just did one last October, we're doing another one here in April, which is Money Smart Week. Yeah,
you brought up the event in October. We were a part of that event. It was a really successful event. I was just amazed at the amount of people that came out and said, thank you for giving us this opportunity. They learned so many different things at this event because there are several different speakers. There's also informational tables where they can get resources as well. Talk about some of the things that you saw were a success in October.
Well, we had over 700 people attend. And how we did that is that on one big day, we try to have an event every week because it's a statewide initiative to have something going on throughout the whole week in West Virginia. And the big event was at the Civic Center. We had over 700 people, which consumed of consumers, professional people. We had some law enforcement people. We had some a track for lawyers, if you will. We had social workers there. We had financial planners there. And we were all learning how to be smart about our money and how to invest, how to watch for the fraudsters out there. And it was just a really huge success. And that's why we decided to do it again.
Yeah, and we're seeing some video from that event right now. What all did you learn from this experience, the first one that was held in October?
Well, we learned, and AARP, we're always trying to figure out how we can do something better, and so we did a lot of networking with other people, and what they were telling us, the consumers who attended, the professional people said, you've got to do this again. I've got so much information. Thank you for inviting us. And so that's why we're doing it again. This week it is April 2nd through the 9th, and like I said, it was a multi-state public awareness. And it started in Chicago in 2002, and it's a 6-day of outreach of education through community groups, financial institutions, government agencies, all getting together, all experts, if you will, in their field, and teaching everyone about smart money and different things that you can be, and about making smart choices, being a smart consumer. That's what it's all about.
That's right. Of course, here at the Treasurer's Office, we do our Women in Money conferences, a couple usually a year. Last year, we helped kick off Money Smart Week by doing a Women in Money conference in conjunction with the events that were going on. And it's really nice because our Women in Money conferences focus a lot on women, money, and we invite men and all ages to come out to those. I think the Money Smart Week concept just expands on that whole idea of helping people become financially savvy. Let's talk about this April. We have a great event going on, actually a lot of events going on.
We do.
that are coming up. As you said, the event runs from April 4th through the 9th, I think, are the dates, and almost every day there's going to be something that people can go to and learn from, and it's just going to be a great experience, I think.
Yeah, well, I'd love to tell you about them. And on April, it starts off Monday, April the 4th at the Charleston Marriott. The title is Credit and Consumer Fraud in the Economic Downturn. This is a free seminar for lawyers and other legal professionals. It's from 9 to 3. We have several experts in their field, people like Charles Harwood and John Steiger from the FTC. We have a discussion on debt collection and debt relief from other experts from the FTC, legal aid, the Attorney General's office. We also have a topic on foreclosure assistance and loan modification fraud. And we also have Ralph Young, who will be speaking on ethics when it comes to debt collection practices. So again, this is Monday, April 4th at the Charleston Marriott. It's free. It's open to lawyers and anyone in the legal profession. We are offering 5.4 CLEs, continuing education credits.
That's always nice for the professionals to be able to receive those continuing education credits to go to
Right, and they're legal education credits and they are free. And then the one, because we are having the ethics session, that they are getting 1 hour worth of ethics, which is huge for them. So we're real proud to be able to do that. You need to call to register. I can give you the number. It's 1-800-368-8808 to register, and it's open to the first 125. And when I left the office, we were at 104.
Oh, wow.
So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
we're really excited. So
hopefully it will be a packed audience on that Monday event.
That's what we're hoping for.
And absolutely, people can call that number again. It's 1-800-368-8808 for the Monday event, and that is specifically for again, it's lawyers, right?
And they're legal, and any legal profession.
Any legal professional, okay. But then for the masses, for everyone who's out there, they have 2 opportunities this year to go out and receive a lot of information. One event will be held in Charleston this year, and then we're going to have, of course, another event in Weirton as well. So the first event's in Charleston on Tuesday.
Then, yes, the next one is Tuesday, April the 5th, same place, Charleston Marriott, and we're hosting that as a consumer university, and it's free for consumers. Registration begins at 8, ends at 3 o'clock. Deborah Linz from WCHS once again is our Masters of Ceremony. And again, we have people who are truly experts in their field. We have Lois Crichton from Crichton Wealth Management from Wells Fargo, who's a keynote speaker in the morning. We have a session on banking, credit, and money management in today's society. And again, this is for the consumer. We have Outsmarting Investment Fraud, different people coming with Christine Kiefer from FINRA.
Which is a national organization.
Which is a national organization. Yeah. And again, we have really good experts preventing healthcare fraud, avoiding identity theft. We have Jill Miles, Deputy Attorney General here in West Virginia, and Susan LaFew, who's a colleague of mine at AARP Foundation. Another interesting, everybody will hear those sessions from those experts. Then we have what we call a little breakout session, and AARP Foundation has been known to do these breakouts. And we have one on social media, and people will be able to choose from one of these 3: social media, tax assistance and get your free credit report. The social media is how to protect your privacy while you're doing emails, while you're on Facebook, and while you're Twittering. And we have done a number of events about in cyber safety, and the population over 50 plus is the highest growing people learning how to use the computer.
Well, I was actually just going to ask you about that, because I've noticed that more and more you do see people, you think, when you think of electronics, you think of social media, Twitter and Facebook, automatically your mind thinks a teenager or a young adult, but that's not really the case anymore.
No, it is, we're trying to keep in touch with our daughters, our grandchildren, looking at photos. So this will be a really interactive session with that I think will be really exciting. And then we also have tax assistance, people from the ARP tax aid, from VITA, volunteer income tax assistance, to help people go through taxes or if they have any questions. And then also to get your credit report. It's always good to check your credit report. You are able to have 3 free credit reports throughout the year, and we'll have people there actually pulling your credit reports for you. So that's really going to be exciting. We also have lunch, and it's free, it's open to the public. And again, we're going to cut that off at the first 400 consumers who sign up for that.
And now we do have another phone number for people who want to register for this particular event, the consumer events.
We do.
That phone number is 1-877-926-8300. And of course, anybody who wants to go to one of these consumer events can just call up and as you said, there's going to be a lot that's offered there. I like the idea this year that we are expanding to have a few different topics like the social media protection, and the free credit reports are always a big hit, because a lot of people don't want to spend the time when they're on their own to do it, but if they're at an event like this, that prompts them and they say, hey, this is something I really need to be doing, let's go over there. They can do it for me right now, right here and now, which is good.
That's right. And then we can answer some questions that they might have too.
Sure.
And there's nothing like without one-on-one personal assistance that you actually get to speak to somebody, you know, if you had a question about your credit report or something. But the social media, I think, will be a huge hit, and we're real excited about that.
And you talked about one-on-one. Another thing that is, I think, great about these events are the educational tables that you have displayed. A lot of local organizations, state agencies, all go out to these events. Well, they'll definitely be at the Tuesday event in Charleston. They'll be there to kind of help guide people with what services they offer and how they can help them.
Well, we have opened it up. This year we have 24 partners putting together this Money Smart. I mean, it's a really big undertaking that we have for the consumers of West Virginia. And we, like you said, we'll have plenty of tables, if you will, for informational tables. I know the Treasurer's Office will have one, the Auditor will have one, the Division of Banking will have them. So they'll have a lot of information will also be at these tables that consumers can go and pick up.
What are some of the initiatives that go along with the Money Smart Week thing? Let's keep going. We talked a lot about the Tuesday event in Charleston, but we also have the Weirton event.
We actually are doing it, we're trying to get this across the state, like I said, and on April 7th, on a Thursday, we are taking the Consumer University to Weirton. We also will be having, it's cut up for the first 250 people who register, and that would be that 877-926-8300 to register, and it's really important that you register. And again, the registration starts at 8, the event starts at 8:30, and it's limited to the first 250. And again, we have experts on their field. It's pretty much mirroring the event here in Charleston.
People who attend this conference, what's your pitch to them? Why come out to this conference? What's the hook, line, and sinker to get them to come out and be a part of this day?
Well, today you need to be a smart, educated money consumer. You need to be a smart consumer in anything, but specifically your finances. There's a lot of fraudsters out there. We specifically talk about the mortgage modification. There's a lot of that going on. Fortunately, in West Virginia, we don't have it, but I'm sure people who know someone who has had to go through that. And we even offer one of those a call-in at one of our foundation programs to help people, and actually we're helping these folks in Arizona with their loan modification, and that's one of the programs that the bigger foundation has given us to see how we work it here in West Virginia and how we can keep it and tweak it and give it back to them. So it's really exciting. I mean, everybody who comes loves it. You'll go away with lots of really good information. We want you to learn to become a money smart consumer. We also have another event though on Saturday, which
I'm excited about this event. Yeah.
On Saturday, it kind of wraps up the week-long event, and it's called Fight Fraud, Shred Instead. And AARP Foundation has been really known to be that's our signature, if you will. We always do it twice a year in the months that start with A, so it's April and August. We're going to be at the Gander Mountain off Corridor G in the parking lot from 10 to 2. So please bring all your personal information and we'll be glad to shred it for you. All consumers and it's free, open to all consumers. So we're excited. It's a huge fun event too to come.
That is exciting. Another exciting thing is that Ben Franklin's going to be on hand at the event. We forgot to mention that, and he is always a joy at these events.
Oh, he is. Ben Franklin is the mascot, if you will, of Money Smart Week. He does a tremendous job, and we're excited to have him back.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Why do you think that it is important for your members, AARP, to have this information? I know, as we said earlier in the program, AARP decided to really concentrate on financial literacy with Money Smart Week and some of the other initiatives you do during the year. Why is it so important that your organization focuses on that?
Well, you know, like I said before, AARP is trying to taking a fight on hunger, fighting on income, isolation, and you know, it all starts with managing your money, being smart with your money. We really push that, and we're a leading charity in that. So people are looking at us to see what we're doing and trying to copy us as well. So we're excited.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's needed out there. I think a lot of people respond. Obviously, with the October event, you had a great feedback on it and a lot of participation. So hopefully, I think the April event is looking to be just as successful.
And we're always trying to make sure that people change their behavior. Like we do a survey at the end, like, you know, what did you learn from this? Will you make different choices in what you did? And everybody was saying yes, that they learned so much. So if we're changing behavior, and again, we educate, the foundation can educate, and I always say that the AARP state can advocate and lobby, but we educate, and the foundation does that very, very well.
Again, Money Smart Week is the week of April 4th through the 9th. So let's talk about, once again, what people need to do to register and why it's important for them to register ahead of time.
Well, we need to register just to make sure you get in, because it fills up really quickly. The professional one for the lawyers and the legal professions, we need to register at 368-8808, and that is Monday, April the 4th. And then the consumer, 877-926-8300, and that's open to the first 400 people that register for that.
And that number is good not just for the Charleston event on Tuesday, it's also good for the Weirton event on Thursday, right?
That's correct, that's right.
As far as the shredding event goes, that's happening on all day Saturday, right?
From 10 until 2. From 10 until 2.
Where is that going to be at?
On Corridor G, on Gander Mountain parking lot. And you'll see big trucks right there. We have a big shredder on site. I always call it the shredder of mass destruction, because it can really chew up just about anything. You don't have to take off your paper clips or your binders.
Wow.
Or just shove it right through. And if you want to wait and watch your we have some people who want to watch their things actually get shredded. And so anything with your personal information, don't throw that in the mail. Come and see us. Bring it up to us on Saturday, and we'll be glad to shred it for you.
That brings up a good point. Why is it important that people shred their information? Well,
we live in a day nowadays, we even talked about Facebooking and cyber safety and things like that, but the day that you used to just rip up your mail in half and throw it in the trash, I mean, we call them dumpster divers, people going through your trash. We have slick fraudsters out there that are always trying to take advantage of people. And we hear consumer complaints every day from someone who's trying to steal their identity or identity theft, or someone who says that they're going to invest their money wisely, and they don't do that either.
Well, Janet, we do have a few more minutes, so let's talk about some of the other initiatives that AARP is working on. Specifically, it's the hunger drive, right?
It's the drive to end hunger, and this is really, really, really cool for us. We're really excited, the foundation, and over 6 million older Americans face the threat of hunger every year. And NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon and team owner Rick Hedrick, we have an AARP car. And so we ask you to do one other thing. We ask you to take a pledge, and we ask you to every month either volunteer at a local food bank, donate a few cans of food every once a month to your local food bank, or go on to www.drivetoendhunger.org and make a donation, whether it's $10 or $5, and if you do that monthly. And we're just really excited about this NASCAR, and Jeff Gordon being a spokesperson for us. We were even fortunate to have the car here locally. Early part of January, after he changed the car to have AARP on it, we actually came here in January, and we had it at the Town Center Mall. It was just wonderful.
It was very exciting.
It was
an exciting event. All right, some great things happening with AARP.
Yes.
Again, people can check out your website if they want more information on the Drive to End Hunger, or if they want more information on Money Smart Week as well. That website is just, I think it's moneysmartweek.com/West Virginia, is that correct?
Right, and then we're also on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page.
All right. Janet Clark, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's always a pleasure to have you on, and we look forward to reporting on a successful Money Smart Week in late April.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you so much. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more information.
The primary function of the Treasurer's Office is cash management. People don't realize that we are the largest bank in the state of West Virginia. People have no idea how much money comes through the Treasurer's Office, over $13 billion now. I pride myself in being the best state in managing money in the nation. I'm the banker of state government. We are your bank. We take care of your money.
Welcome back to Treasury Notes. Before we go today, it's been a very rough few weeks for our communications staff and the entire State Treasurer's Office. Longtime Deputy Treasurer and Communications Director Nelson Sora passed away March 6th after a heart attack. From his days as a reporter and newspaper editor, to his time as a state lawmaker, to his 14 years here at the Treasurer's Office, Nelson had a huge impact on so many lives. He led our office to the national level with his efforts to transform unclaimed property practices and develop college savings initiatives through his involvement with the National Association of State Treasurers. He was also a fly fisherman who talked about his passion for fishing and building on his own rods right here on Treasury Notes a few years ago. Today, we'd like to take just a few minutes to remember Nelson Sora.
Well, when you're fly fishing, you're not thinking about anything else. You're sort of lost in what you're doing, and it really, I think it rejuvenates a person to completely divorce themselves from things that cause them pain and anguish during the week. You know, you take an afternoon or a day, if you're lucky, to go out and think absolutely nothing about the bills that are due and the gadgets and widgets that are to be made, and you forget about all those things, and you're out with doing what you like to do.
He will be missed. Thanks for watching us.